As ancient societies became more complex, so too did their maps. Within the next 1,000 years, the Romans were using maps to help them build the greatest empire in the world. They created maps of their towns, regions, and colonies. Many have been lost. This is a copy of one of the few to have survived, and it's quite spectacular.
This is a map of the world in Roman times. It's the longest map I've ever seen in my entire life. It stretches all the way from Sri Lanka and India down here in the east, right along here to the furthest western point, which shows the southern coast of Great Britain. It's an absolutely extraordinary map. It's 6.5 meters in length. Scholars actually believe that it was longer and that it's lost about 2 meters, which rather tantalizingly would have given us a much better picture of the British Isles. Here's Germany, labelled Alemannia, just squeezed into a few centimetres up here on the north coast of Europe. There's the River Rhine running right along there. And here's the Mediterranean, like a long, snaky river running right down there. And probably the most prominent landmass on the entire map, not surprisingly, is Italy. Stretching right down here, there's Rome, it goes all the way down, you can see the boot, and there's Sicily. But nothing like we understand it today. Now, what's really striking about looking at this map, with the depiction of Europe, North Africa, and Asia, in this shape, there's no way that this can be an accurate representation of how the Romans saw the world.
The geography is obviously way out, and yet there are some details of astonishing accuracy.
These red lines that crisscross the map are the famous straight Roman roads running across its surface, and above them are symbols exhibiting the distance between places in terms of leagues or miles, depending on where you are. And there's a good example of it here. There's Rome. On the red Roman road, the Vatican, a symbol just above it shows that it's just 1 mile. But the map is covered with these kind of symbols. You have another one here which shows the distance from Strasbourg, which is shown there, to Mainz there. And what happens is that the Roman numeral tells you how far you're going from Strasbourg to the next town or village, which is labelled with 7. The distance here is 18. All the way to Mainz, which is 74 leagues altogether.
Route markings, distances clearly annotated, towns where people could stop off for the night. These details led to the belief that the map was the equivalent of a modern road atlas.
But just look at this map. It's hardly pocket size, is it? Can you imagine strapping this to the back of your horse and then hauling it out every time you lost your way? As a route finder, it's completely impractical.
To understand the purpose of this map, we need to look back to the time when it was created, around 300 AD. By then, the empire had already been under attack from invading barbarians. To meet the threat, Rome's armies had expanded, and citizens lived in the grip of authoritarian rule. But the map shows only peace and harmony. Spa and bath towns are clearly marked all over the map. So where are the fortifications and garrisons? And where are the divisions between regions? This seems to be a land without borders. In reality, the empire was divided and ruled by 4 competing leaders. It's been suggested that this map of the Roman world may have hung behind one of their thrones. With its remarkable details of roads and distances, this map was designed to give the impression of order and control. So while the Bedolina map in the Alps promised the people a better world to come, this map is trying to hide the fact that the power and riches of empire are under threat.
This map glosses over the messy, complex reality of internal tensions and external threats. Its main message is one of unity, and that made it an incredibly powerful political tool.